Okay, this looks like the storm is over. I want to welcome everybody to the Hot Seat Radio Show. I am Donovan Sadiq, and it has been a very, very wet, cold week. And a lot of people are getting back into the use of things as we start the new year. And we want to thank everybody. Just got done interviewing Mad Max, Mighty Max, and she is on to bigger and better things as she's moving forward with her career as a new college graduate, and she's getting into aeronautics, and she really hopes, we wish her the best. We hope she gets the job because she likes to travel and get out there. And I think all young people should have a passport. All people should have a passport and get out there and see the world, because everything is not as it is seen here in America. You will find out there is a very different world and how people view the world other than the American way. But anyway, today I was coaching the Moreno Valley Lakers, ages 8 years old, 7, 8 year old. And I'm telling you, a lot of my players have come a long way. And it's just amazing when you see a bunch of young people progress and they start growing, and you see their parents coming out and supporting them. It's an awesome thing. I usually teach fundamentals, and I'm an assistant coach because I was in the political world. I didn't have enough time to sign up to be a full-time coach, and I used to coach when I was down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and Slidell in the church league down there. And I usually coach girls, and I like coaching the girls better than the boys because girls do work together and they do what they say, and they are coachable. There are a lot of young guys that they look at the NBA and whatever, and then there comes a time where they become uncoachable. And at that point, if you don't have fundamentals, it just doesn't do you good as a player. You won't progress, because it's just like if you don't know your mathematics, your basic mathematics. By the time you get to algebra, statistics, you are not going to do very well when you get there. As a matter of fact, you most likely will fail. But while we were there, the Lakers, we've had 4 games so far, and I believe we are 3-1 or we're 4-1. I think we had 4 or 5 games. I think we're 4-1. We've only lost 1 game so far this season, and they're doing very, very well. And I really want to say that we have a very balanced team. Some teams have, maybe 1 or 2 players that do all the scoring and do all the stuff, but it is what it is. Some kids are good at some things, and some kids are good at another. And my nephew is on the team. I don't interact with him. I like seeing a lot of my brother in him. He's very tall, which is unusual. But they're doing well, and I would really recommend that the churches get together and form a church league. I mean, golly, all these churches, please do something together and show us, the parishioners, that you guys could come together and do something for the people. I mean, you guys take our tithes, you do all these things, and we don't see any results. And again, I want to thank Pastor Don for all that he is doing. Here's a pastor who doesn't even live in our church, or not live in the church, live in the city. And he's doing so much to bring a boys and girls club and bring this stuff into fruition. He talked about it last year, and it has come into fruition. So thank you, Pastor Don, and his church that he's trying to do. I think it is very much needed in our city. And speaking of Pastor Don and his church, I had his lovely wife on his radio show that I produced. And they are going to be having a, what's it called? It's called Girls Ministry Unite, Living Life with Purpose and a Vision. It's going to be in Moreno Valley on Monday, January 23rd, 2017. And the guest speaker will be Julie Pearson, who's the founder of Gap Girls. And Living Life with a Purpose and a Vision is one of its tenets. And it's how do we gain vision for our life, which will eventually produce purpose. This is going to be hosted at Discovery Christian Church, 27555 Alessandro Boulevard. And the guest speaker is Julie Pearson, is the founder of Gap Girls Ministry. Julie will share her story and struggle to gain a strong sense of identity, which ultimately gave rise to vision and purpose as women. you've written the purpose. I'm sorry. As women, we have a common battle of knowing who we are, what we should do, and where we should go. God has a clear vision for women. Once we understand his vision, our purpose becomes much more clear. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And that's Proverbs 29:18. So please, if you guys have some time, contact Linda Meinberg if you have any questions. Her number is 951-789-0344 or Linda M at reflectionchristian.com. Linda Meinberg, or you can contact Don Meinberg, or please contact me. And I think that's going to be a great thing for women to get together and unite and increase your faith. And people are saying, well, wow, you're becoming a really religious guy. No, I just believe in God. So I'm not a religious person. I just do what I'm supposed to do to the best of my ability as a Christian. While I was at the rec center, like I said, I love seeing parents and family members and friends supporting these young people. I mean, when you go there, you have karate. I saw ballet going on. I saw a lot of things going on. And I like going to the rec center. I mean, it's really a great thing to give back to the community. And Councilman Dave Marquez was in attendance, and he stopped by. And, here's a guy who represents District 3, and he stopped by to see what was going on. And we exchanged pleasantries. Victoria Baca, nowhere to be seen. Idiot Gutierrez is nowhere to be seen. Jeffrey Gaiba, I was supposed to meet him today, and he had to cancel at the last minute because, he is a very, very busy councilman. As you guys know, me and Jeffrey Gaiba, we're both veterans, and we have that in common, just like me and Mr. Dave Marquez have that in common. We're really good friends, but just because we're good friends doesn't mean we agree on everything. But I do try to work within my means, and I'm I have no problem as a taxpayer and as a friend and as a concerned citizen to meet with any council member and help any council member if needed. So again, I've told you guys all the time, you have to get involved and stop complaining and sitting on the sidelines hoping somebody else is going to solve the problem. In my neighborhood, I don't have a problem when people ask me to do something because I am the block captain in my cul-de-sac. So I have no problem doing that. But you want these council people to be accountable. You have to meet with them and tell them what is on your mind and tell them what's going on. And they will listen, most of them. Gutierrez won't meet with anybody. Victoria Baca definitely won't meet with me. And I want to say on the record, I believe Chris Baca said that I came in fourth. Last I checked, I came in third. But like I said, that doesn't mean, with all the manipulation that was going on, it was probably true. So Chris Baca, thank you for correcting that. And I believe you said you beat me by 7 votes, which is great. Like I said, you ran a very good campaign. So congratulations on that. And I really, really look forward to you coming on the show and telling us what's going on with the Democratic club and or committee that you're on. And also the Peden brothers. The Peden brothers are, they were elected to the Democratic committee. I'm very out of them, 7 people were elected. And here are guys that ran. They didn't win this time around, but they're staying involved. And we need to start doing stuff like that and keeping these people involved and keeping these names ahead of you and keep you guys informed. So we look forward to a lot of input from the Peden brothers and those others that were newly elected. Victoria Baca, we won't hear much from. A lot of people were surprised to see my video the other day and thought that I'd gone away or whatever. No, I have not gone away. I've been busy investigating a few things, and a lot of stuff is going to come out and fairly soon. And since we are talking about a lot of things coming out, I've said on the video, again, I am not going to be a candidate running anymore because when you run too much, you become a running joke, in my opinion. And, I want to enjoy my life. I put a lot of time in my military career, and I never had any aspiration really of being a professional politician. And I think that I serve the community a lot better being a community watchdog and doing what I do. And in so speaking, I've been saying that we have a problem at the Box Springs Water Company, and that problem is still ongoing. Is Victoria Baca going to do anything about it? We doubt it. But just because you're not an elected official does not mean that you can't make a difference in this city. So please step up and let these people know what's going on. But I will be meeting with as many council members as possible. I've been waiting 5 months to meet with Mayor Gutierrez about Mrs. Perez. And of course, he won't meet with me because he's a coward and he's not a leader and he's a bought politician. So that's how I feel about that. Also, in the video, I got a lot of feedback on the video that I put out. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean money that's missing? This is what I'm talking about how people are misinformed or they're not informed at all. Ido Ben Highland Fairview is supposed to indemnify the city in all legal costs. All legal costs. This man is over $300,000 behind in his legal costs, and the city is not holding him accountable. Again, the city council are nothing but figureheads. These people don't really run the city. If you want to get things done in this city, you have to go to the city staff. Who controls the city is a lady named Michelle Dawson. Her assistant, Tom DeSantis. These are the people that sign the checks and make the decisions of what and where the city is going. And I'm going to do my best to meet with them and the city attorney and get stuff done. So if you hear a lot of shaking going on, it's Belle the Wonder Pup, and something's wrong with her ears, and we've given her medicine. And I don't know if it's water or if it's ear mites. She had a problem with ear mites, but I don't think that's what it's ear mites for the simple fact that she has a waxing problem. So we're going to go and keep monitoring that. But, we are killing these animals at the animal shelter. Nobody's talking about that. Let's see what Victoria Baca does about it, because LaDonna Jimson didn't do a goddamn thing. So these are things to think about. So for those people who thought that I had gone away or I'm not involved, you are sorely mistaken. I have only just begun. I'm going to kick it up a notch, and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to help, and I'm going to assist anybody that wants to make change in the city. Now, if we're talking about leaders, and since I'm not going to be a future leader in the city, we need to talk about people like Jerry Mercado, who was a former opponent of mine. We need to talk about people like, gosh, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but I can't believe I did that. But Jerry Mercado, he was an opponent of mine. And then there's I am so sorry. My mind, it's been a long day, but Jerry Mercado, Chris Baca, I want him to come on the show. I want these gentlemen to come on the show. Me and Jerry had a very nice conversation, and I'm willing to work with him. And there's another, and I'm so sorry about that, gentleman that ran, and I just can't remember his name. I'm just drawing a blank. I'm thinking of Jaime Moreno, but Jaime Moreno is in the 4th district, and that's still another young name we need to keep as future leaders of the city, because we have to start turning to people who are going to be progressive and not stagnant in what's been going on and running the city to the ground. So these are things we need to think about. So a lot of stuff that's just it's unbelievable. We got a lot of construction done in the 2 years that LaDonna Jimson was on the council, and thanks to me and working with her, we were able to push a lot of the construction through. But over 20-something years of property tax was taken from the residents of the Edgemont area, and they did not benefit from it. And by law, that money should have been put in an escrow account, and it wasn't. And it was used for the benefit of the rest of the city. And, that's not fair. And, it is what it is, but we did what we could. And speaking of that, this is my 40th year, 40 years in the area of Moreno Valley. My family, we first arrived on the scene in 1977. So that would be 40 years. And wow, time flies. Because like I said, I remember coming here and you would smell nothing but like citrus in the air because of all the orange groves. And, and you would just hear the B-52 bombers running their engines. And then you hear the race track and the cars racing around the track. And nothing but grassland. And it was just it was a different time and space. And I was walking through Walmart, and guess who I ran into? I ran into the very first person I met at March Air Force Base in my unit. And his name is Sergeant Ernie Rue, retired Old Greens, Filipino, Hawaiian, real great guy, very humble. And it's just funny when you look at these guys. And when I met him, I was 17 years old. Just a green, kid, didn't really know what was happening. And they put me with him and said, hey, you follow this guy and stuff. And he was kind of showing me around and, what was going on. And we had our old Vietnam greens on, and he had prior service in the Army. And I used to look at his little Army wings and be like, wow, this guy was, a flyer. I thought that was impressive. And, I didn't have anything on my shirt yet. And, I'm seeing Ernie today, and we're in Walmart. We must have talked for at least an hour, hour and a half, and we exchanged numbers. And he's one of my good friends and one of my good mentors. And he always had something good to say to me, and it kept me encouraged. Wasn't my supervisor, wasn't my trainer, but always was, always had something good to say to me. And he kind of commutes between here and Hawaii. And good old Ernie Rue, I'm telling you, it was just funny looking at him because when I met him, he was all, dark haired, like most, Filipinos are, they're dark haired, very dark haired, like black hair. And now he's a gray guy, gray old man, just like me, and I've got gray hairs too. And we started laughing because, when this guy met me, I was 17 years old and, really didn't know anything. And now I'm going to be 47 this year. And, you're talking about a span of 30 years has passed. And the very first person I met at March Air Force Base is still running around in this neighborhood. And we were talking about what's been happening. And, these are one of the few people that has been, Mr. Rue grew up in this area. His dad was military. He's been here since the late 1950s. So he's another of the few people that have actually seen this area grow to its best parts, now to its worst parts. It was just so good to see him because, now I'm a grown man. And when I knew this man, I was just technically a child. And I'm a grown man now with grown children. And I'm almost 50 years old. And it was just a weird, surreal feeling because we were young 30 years ago. And he's 66. So technically, Sergeant Rue is pretty much the same age as my mom. And really great guy, really good friend. So we exchanged numbers, and I want to, bring him over, and I invited him to come on the show and talk about his experience as a retiree and a veteran, and maybe just talk about some of the old stuff that used to go on here in Moreno Valley back in the good old days. So look forward to having him on the show. But before we get into anything else, and I keep saying I'm not going to do this, and I never do it, Shannon Hobson, she's the owner and the baker of Favorite Things Bakery. And she specializes in cookies, and more cookies. And I have heard that her cookies are delicious. And I'm going to tell you her number is 951-293-0287. And her website, you can go on Facebook.com and just go to Favorite Things Bakery. And let's take a look at what she's got. And she has a website, www.favoritethingsbakery.com. And she's taking orders for some of the best cookies in the world. And I'm going to put them in an order and support these local businesses. And her sister has a business. And I got the best present for my mom and my sister-in-law. And it was a little throw blanket. And the good thing about it, my mom used to work for Disneyland in the early days. So I got my mom a Minnie Mouse throw blanket. And these blankets are going for $60. And it's not like a short throw blanket. It was a fairly long blanket, and they're very simple to make, but it was just so good, and it's so warm. For this time of year, it's the perfect thing to give them. And I ordered from my sister-in-law, who's stationed here at March Air Force Base, and she's a master sergeant. I think she's about to put on senior master sergeant. So congratulations to her when it does happen. I know it's coming down the pipe. She's working on it. But this young lady has made a blanket that had Air Force theme. So I saw the blanket and I was like, wow, this is something I would really want. And the military blankets go for about $65. And I said, let me just get this, 'cause I didn't want to not have a gift for her. And we got it, and she loved it. I mean, and of course, this time of year, they're going to use it. So I'm going to be talking about these blankets, because the one thing with military blankets is part of the proceeds of those blankets are going to be used for the homeless veterans. And I think that's a great thing that this young entrepreneur, and this girl's only 24 years old, and she has the Air Force theme, she has the Navy theme, she has the Army theme, and she has the Marine Corps theme. And she is in the right area to be selling those kind of things. And I'm going to put this up on some of her stuff up on the website. And I'm going to tell you, it's a worthwhile cause. So if you're listening to this show, and everybody that I know of knows, especially in the city of Moreno Valley, in the Riverside Inland Empire area, we are the seventh or eighth largest military area in the States. Concentration of military people: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. So a lot of people know people that are in the military, and these are great gifts, not only for that military person, but it's great gifts for the military families. If you got a loved one that is overseas, or if you're a military person, you want to give your special boo a beautiful gift to remember you by, this is the perfect gift. And I'm going to put the information up on the website, and you guys just check it out. They love it. My mom loved them. And it's not just military, those are the special military ones. But if you, whatever theme it is, and if you want embroidery, she can embroider on it and things like that. And this is a young entrepreneur. This is a great product to have. You guys, please check it out. Give her a call. And I ran across this lady just walking in my neighborhood. I was off Day Street on the Riverside side, and she was at Joann's Fabrics, and she was in there pulling these fabrics down. And I'm impressed because, here's a young person who knows how to do arts and crafts. I really think that they need to get back and put back tool shop, wood shop, and home ec, and whatever you want to call it, back into the schools, because I think our young people are lacking in everyday life skill classes, or whatever you want to call it. But I was impressed that this young lady was doing that, and we must have sat in Joann's and talked for like 2 hours. And I'm going to have her on the show one day, because I think she would be a great model of entrepreneurship. And that's one of the things we're going to steer this show into doing. Now, a lot of my co-hosts aren't here today. A lot of stuff going on, and we're going to talk to those guys next week. We're working on some shows. We got a lot of stuff that is in the pipe. So, but this lady was, her name is Asha. She's Asha Hobson. And I'm telling you, her work was incredible. And the prices were right. They were perfect gifts. I'm going to talk to the Military Wives Club. These are things that they would sell over there. And I'm going to try to get this thing going. And this is a perfect idea of entrepreneurship. A lot of people, people are saying, well, Donovan, you always talk about jobs and not having jobs and this, whatever. True. Maybe I need to start talking about entrepreneurship, because the jobs are not coming, and you're not going to sit around here for 25 years. So maybe what we needed to be talking about is entrepreneurship. And if you're interested in starting a business, the best way to start that business is to attend and join a commerce club. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Black Chamber of Commerce, whatever. And a lot of young people don't understand what that is. But what that is a bunch of businesses that work together, and they network, and they work in a group. And, they promote each other's businesses, and they support each other's businesses, which is a great thing. So if you want to know about business, you have to talk to a business person. So this would be a great opportunity. And I've told Mrs. Hobson to do that, and to join, or at least attend a meeting and see if she can make some connections, because, you might have somebody that's in that Chamber of Commerce that has a shop, and you might want to sponsor your wares there and come up to some kind of agreement where they can sell your items there, and you guys and it's both beneficial to both of you. So I'm going to start promoting that, because everybody says, well, Donovan, you keep talking about there's no jobs and this is not happening and that's not happening, but you don't have a solution. Well, my solution is forget the jobs. We need to start changing our mindset of getting out of the matrix, which is what I always talk about, to entrepreneurship. Stop working for somebody else. Start working for yourself. We need to start teaching our children that. Start working for yourself. Get your own hustle. And when I say hustle, I'm not talking about drugs and illegal. I'm talking about our own businesses that benefit the community. You're going to have liquor stores. Yeah, you're going to have gun stores. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as it's done legally. We just had the marijuana thing passed. Get involved with that. If that's, if it's a legal thing and you can get involved in it, everybody knows there's going to be a lot of money made in that. Why is it that the rich people that already have money, of course, because they have money, they're going to jump on it ahead of time, but it's almost like they monopolize that whole business. So let's stop teaching our people to start working, working for somebody, because the jobs are limited as it is, as robotics are coming into the play and technology. They need to start using their beautiful minds. And when I say beautiful minds, I actually mean that. These young people, especially the young people in Moreno Valley, because I'm from Moreno Valley myself, I know for a fact we have some of the best minds in the country right here in this town. And what our representatives and our business leaders and developers in this town think that all these young people can do is work at a warehouse. Well, I say that's bullshit. Total bullshit. Because I know for a fact, if I could come from this little small ass town, which is now a big town, big city, and do what I've done in my lifetime, anybody can do it. And what I did was nothing. I talk to some of these young people who have big dreams and big ideas, and they don't want to live those big ideas. And maybe they shouldn't. But the fact of the matter is, I think that our children deserve better than warehouse mentality. During the holiday season, the warehouses couldn't even hire full employment because young people are refusing to work there. So let's get our minds out of working for somebody and start telling these young people, okay, then start coming up with a plan and an idea of a business that you want to start. We see all these empty, open frontages at these storefronts that are empty. The mall is empty. We need to get these young people together and say, okay, you get together collaboratively and come up with a plan and a product, and we're going to support that and give you rebates and discounts to get that business going. Why not? We give it to a developer. Why not? We're not making any money off of these damn warehouses. Why not? There's no tax base off of that. You go to Orange County, where our city staff comes from and our city managers come from and where they live, they don't have that problem, but we have that problem here. And like I've told people, we have a poor population. When you have 99-cent stores, tire centers, and a lot of one-themed restaurants, meaning soul food restaurants or Spanish food and Italian restaurants, when you have a whole bunch of that one theme type of restaurant, which we do have a lot of Mexican restaurants here, but we are a Hispanic city. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we don't have variety, poor city. You have a very, very poor city. I know people don't want me to hear me say that, but it's the truth. Somebody please prove me wrong. And that's where I think we should go. And then we need to also get our young people in support of our military base. Over. If we keep doing what we're doing and making the decisions that we're making, man, that base is going to just get the hell up out of here. Which isn't really going to happen, but they're going to downsize it, to where it's going to be almost. They might as well go ahead and merge back to Ontario and just fly out of there. At least that's active and it's being supported and they're not being encroached upon. But like I said, when I was talking to Sergeant Rue, I mean, he remembers when there was no warehouses out here. It was plenty of space. It was beautiful, and he was even talking about the M, and he tried to test me and says, do you really know what that M stands for? And I said, yeah, it stands for Moreno Valley High School. He goes, wow, you're one of the few people that really know what that M stands for. Only people who are implants here and who have moved here don't know what that M stands for. They think it stands for Moreno Valley, and it doesn't. So we got to start educating our population. We have an uneducated population. And speaking of uneducated population, we have an uneducated population that keep overbreeding animals that are getting killed at a high clip at the animal shelter. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue to talk about that. I'm going to see what Victoria Baca is going to do about that animal shelter, which is one of the reasons why I want to meet with her. So today is the third week that I have put in an official request to meet with Victoria Baca. And one of the things I want to talk about with her is this animal shelter and what she's going to do about it. And if I can't get to her, I will give the message to her brother. And I know they're fighting right now. Hopefully they've made up, God willing. But still, we need to do something about that animal shelter. We need to do something about that Box Springs water problem. What is she going to do this second time around? We don't need meetings. We need action. Action, Mrs. Baca. We need action. So please excuse my voice. Whenever the weather changes, I'm one of those people that I can tell you when summer's over. I can tell you when winter's. I can tell you when the weather's about to change because my joints start swelling and I got a lot of problems, especially my back. Because I have arthritis. I have rheumatoid arthritis, early stages, and according to the doctor, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to be crippled and in a wheelchair. And unfortunately, I don't believe that. As a person would never believe that, but I am not going to take what they say for granted, and I'm going to go to the gym and keep my joints active as much as I can. But when the weather does change and it does get cold, as it's been doing, my back seizes up, and it's hard for me to walk. And it just comes with old age, and it is true, as people have found out and have done background checks on me. I do have lupus, and it's a condition that is, shit happens, I guess. So, yes, I do have it, and I'm working through that. And I have no fear. I think I look good. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm taking the medicines, and I'm taking the meds, and I'm working through it. So it's going to be an interesting year. Donovan Sadiq has not gone anywhere. Please get ready. January 20th, we are going to do a show live, and we're going to be doing it using our green screen. We'll put some shows in hand, and we got some great things happening in this city thanks to Reflections Christian Fellowship Church in Valley and Pastor Don. He talked about it. He was given the vision. All praise to God, and he is working to bring us a boys and girls club. He's not talking about it like LaDonna Jimson. He's actually doing it. It's deeds, not words, and this is what we have to look at. And the person I kept forgetting about, and I'm sorry, Edgar, I know you listen to the program, Edgar Garcia. You have two good representatives and leaders in this city, and that's the future. And I talked to both of these guys. They are both good people. And when you're in the heat of the battle and you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. At this time, I felt that I had more experience and more knowledge of what was going on. But these guys are not afraid to step up to the plate. They are not afraid to deal with the challenges. A lot of great ideas. Some of it is very progressive. Jerry Mercado is a very progressive person. He's involved in the Historical Society, a committee that we have. So it isn't like he's a stranger to it. He's very progressive. He is an architect. So people that usually in architecture have a progressive type mind. Edgar Garcia brings a lot of experience from, his previous places he's traveled and lived and stuff like that, and he has a lot of great ideas, and he's been in Moreno Valley for a long time, or at least the Inland Empire. And I feel Victoria Baca continues to go down the path that she's going, doing the bidding of Highland Fairview. There's a recall done. And here's what people don't understand about politics. Saying you're going to do a recall without having a suitable replacement candidate is stupid. So if you're going to get ready for a recall, you better have a suitable candidate. And I'm going to tell you, one of those candidates is not going to be. And if you are looking for a suitable candidate, Edgar Garcia and Jerry Mercado are two people, I believe, that could lead this district. They're young, they're progressive, these are the type of people we need to look at and remember those names. Jerry Mercado and Edgar Garcia. Hate the fact that they're both in our district, but I'm telling you, those are the two guys you need to kind of look out for. I'm a firm believer Victoria Baca is going to do and get recalled again. I just see it because she does more work for the city than she does for the district. So, I just don't see LaDonna Jimson coming back, because why would you want somebody back that didn't do anything, even though we just voted Victoria Baca back in? But that's another story. So everybody, don't lose heart, don't lose ambition. Some people think that I disappeared, and I didn't disappear because I've been doing the radio show, but the videos are coming back. I'm going to keep you guys informed the best I can. I am currently, you don't hear from me and I'm not at city council, I'm watching the TV or I'm doing the internet live feed. But I'm not going anywhere. When I go silent, that means I'm researching. And we have the new Inland Empire Informer. And we're going to be talking about everything that affects the Inland Empire. So if you have an announcement, if you're a business owner, if you got something you want to say, you are more than welcome to come on the show. We're not going anywhere. We're doing things in the new year. So for Sean Fortine, Daryl, Mr. Moreno Valley Terrell, and please look out, Daryl Terrell has the Daryl Terrell Times, and we're going to be videotaping him as well as he talks about certain things. I'm Donovan Sadiq. Mighty Max was on the show. God, that girl is beautiful. Her spirit is beautiful is what I'm talking about. Young person, and this is what I want to see. There is hope. There is hope for young people out there. If there's no job for you, create one. Just create it. Pastor Don, Reflections Church, please, Pastor Don, continue to pray for us. And we love your weekly devotional. We love your daily devotionals. People just love it, love it, love it. Keep it coming. I'm Donovan Sadiq. This has been the Hot Seat Radio Show. Please check us out on Facebook. Please check us out at the Inland Empire Informer, The Hot Seat, Donovan Sadiq, for ethical candidates, and so on, so forth. A lot of stuff going on this year. We are not going anywhere. We're going to turn it up, and we're going to turn it up so good. Beware. You guys be safe. The storm has passed, but it is cold out there. Stay warm.